Now that we've covered the concept, let's actually view some DAGs. In a web browser, go to validate.puppet.com. This is a handy code validator in general, but it will also generate graphs from your code. Just click the Show Relationships checkbox. Let's start by pasting in the first example without any relationships defined and clicking Show Relationships. First, you'll notice there are two extra things that we didn't define. These are just how Puppet internally denotes the block of code. Each of these resources comes before the start of the block and after the end of the block. For the relationships we've defined, you'll notice that they're all next to each other here. This means that as far as Puppet is concerned, they could happen in any order. Puppet tends to follow the order the code is written, but that isn't a guarantee. If you remember that the DAG is how Puppet thinks about your code, that makes a lot more sense. Now let's try the code with the relationships defined. This graph looks better. We can see the order we've just defined. Now just to illustrate, I'll define the relationships in reverse. So I'll add before to the file, before service. I'll remove this require from the service, and I'll add another before to the package, before file etc nginx nginx.conf. I removed the require from the service resource, but it's actually okay to double define these. Let's click Show Relationships and see what this looks like. As you can see, the graph is identical. That's because these relationships are actually the same. We're just telling Puppet what they are in a different way. One other thing to try is to define multiple relationships on the same resource. So in our example, the package needs to be before both the file and the service. To do this, we'll use square brackets to define an array, and then include multiple resource references separated by commas. So before file, comma, service. Now if we generate the node graph for that, you can see that there are connections from the package to both the file and the service. For simple code like this tool probably isn't that useful. The relationships are pretty obvious. But for more complex code, looking at the graph can really help clear up confusion.